10 workers left. Okay, fair enough. Continue, Nyoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for this chance. And I actually commend the committee because it is clear the committee did its work. Instead of singing choruses to the executive, they have actually pointed in their reports that we are in a very dire situation when it comes to the debt situation in this country. That now Kenya is at 13 trillion Kenya shillings in public debt, Honorable Speaker, projected to be over 14 trillion Kenya shillings by mid of next year. Honorable Speaker, this is just an accumulation of the decisions that we continue to take, and especially now, where we are digging the hole even deeper, even when we are in it. That every day, Honorable Speaker, Kenya is borrowing 1.2 trillion Kenya shillings every year. And currently, including today, if you average what you are borrowing, Honorable Speaker, is that you are borrowing 4 billion Kenya shillings in net terms every single day, Honorable Speaker. Net terms meaning even after accepting refinancing, where you borrow the SACCO to pay the Shylock. We have even accepted that, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is a very unprecedented situation because in the year from 2002, our debt was 600 billion Kenya shillings. During the reign of President Mwai Kibaki, he borrowed only 1.2 trillion Kenya shillings in his entire 10 years. Honorable Speaker, we are now borrowing more money per year than Honorable Mwai Kibaki borrowed for the entire 10 years, Honorable Speaker. We are now borrowing 500 billion Kenya shillings more than the era of President Uhuru Kenyatta. That at around that time from 2013 all the way to 2022, Kenya was borrowing an average of 700 billion Kenya shillings every year. Now we are borrowing 1.2, and especially out of this year, Honorable Speaker. And I ask this government, do you want to break the record of borrowing? I think the better records to break are the records of good governance, not the records of profligate borrowing, as we see it now, Honorable Speaker. And what is even more worrying is that whatever I'm reporting before this House is actually what we would call official debt. This government has gone further, something that has never been done ever. That from last year, we have now opened a separate book where we are calling it many names. In one name, it's called securitization. In another name, it's called Talanta Board. Illegal borrowing. That as we talk before this House today and to Kenyans, that this government is now beyond over borrowing more than all the other previous years. We now want to even borrow and use the housing levy as collateral. And we are doing that so that we do not report these debts in the actual books that are known across the world. And Honorable Speaker, what Kenyans must know is this, that even as Kenya is borrowing over 1.2 trillion every year now, and 4 billion Kenya shillings every single day, any development they can see and touch is actually not out of this borrowing. Any ongoing road in Kenya is another loan on the site called securitization, where even the debt committee in this House has never had even a single document relating to that illegal debt. Anything you see around stadiums being constructed in Kenya is also not part of the official loans that I've reported. It is another illegal loan called Talanta Board, where Kenya borrowed 45 billion Kenya shillings to pay an interest rate, not interest rate, but even amount, to pay the amount of interest over 100 billion Kenya shillings. A loan of 45 billion to pay an interest of 100 billion Kenya shillings. And therefore we are asking as Kenyans, and especially from these illegal borrowings that started last year, the money Kenya is borrowing every day, 4 billion Kenya shillings, and per year, 1.2 trillion. Where is this money going to, Honorable Speaker? And to put it into context, that money that we have borrowed so far, of close to 4.5 trillion Kenya shillings, is enough money to have had 100 kilometers of completed tarmac road in every constituency. It is money enough to have put electricity and connected electricity to every single homestead in Kenya, Honorable Speaker. It is enough money to have connected every homestead in Kenya to clean water, Honorable Speaker.
Add him an additional 1 minute.
And Honorable Speaker, this money is money enough to have made education totally free in Kenya, from nursery, PP1, Honorable Speaker, all the way to the university. And therefore we are asking, this government needs to address Kenyans. This money we are borrowing, where is it going? The second thing is that now we see we are moving away from foreign debt. We are moving away from money we borrow at 3% to borrow domestically at around at double digit. And Honorable Speaker, Kenyans are asking why, but this is the answer. We are leaving cheaper money for more expensive money because we are running away from accountability. And that is why external lenders of stature, like IMF, like the World Bank, they are no longer lending money to Kenya, Honorable Speaker, because they can see the kind of carelessness at which you are borrowing. And especially the fact that now the people in the executive pretend to be clever to borrow money on the book and off the book, Honorable Speaker. The other thing that I want to highlight as I come to the conclusion, that now our deficit is around 5.5% of our GDP at the beginning of a financial year. And this is always a moving target as we move towards the closure of the financial year. Honorable Speaker, that we are now at 5.5%, meaning we can already foresee by the closure of the financial year, maybe it will be around 7%, something unprecedented. It is time we call the leadership of this country into order. We cannot continue to overburden the current Kenyans, and at the same time, we want political collapse by overburdening hugely even the future generations. It is time for this House to stand up, Honorable Speaker. It is time for this House to say no to this profligate.
Order, Ndindi. What's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, with due respect, Mr. Speaker, is it in order for my good friend, the former chair of budget, to look at this government when he served as the chairman of budget for 3 years and he budgeted a lot of debt to this country, Mr. Speaker? I thought it could be only wise to advise rather than lecturing the same government that he served for 3 years and budgeted a lot of debt in our system.
You had exhausted your time. I think he just made a comment. He made a comment. To do what? To contribute or to respond? Give him half a minute.
Honorable Makilap, it is very good you actually rose as part of the debt committee, just to show Kenyans that you have slept in your job for the last many years you've been in the debt committee. That the budget committee was about spending. The committee on which you actually seconded their report is where you've been, and it is good to have broadcasted your failure. But Honorable Speaker, it is important for us not to trivialize this important matter, and to know that whatever decisions that you are making today will influence the Kenya of tomorrow.
What's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, is it in order for my good friend and colleague, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, to say that the Committee of Debt has failed for the last 3 years or 4? Mr. Speaker, it is through the recommendation of this committee, Mr. Speaker, that the Kenya government has been able to manage their debt and be able to repay their debt without a single default. Mr. Speaker, it is the budget committee that has been giving us proposals here, Mr. Speaker, including programs that are supposed to be funded through debt, Mr. Speaker. So who has failed, Mr. Speaker? It is my colleague here who failed, Mr. Speaker, a long time ago.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, order, I mean, with a light touch. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro.
And lastly,
order. We have to be fair to everybody. The budget committee is the one which asks for more money. So when you ask for a lot of money, and you are aware of the fact that that money is a debt that this country can ill sustain, I fail to see where you can get off the hook and say that this can only be left to the debt committee. What's your point of order, Honorable Majority Leader?
You know, Honorable Speaker, you're on point.
Yes.
And in fact, I was just listening to my brother contribute to this debate. And he said certain unparliamentary things or language that is demeaning, such as all of a sudden the government has become very intelligent, or people in government purport to have become very intelligent. And what you are saying is actually true. The debt committee deals with what the Budget and Appropriations Committee has worked on in estimates.
Yes.
My brother Ndindi Nyoro was our chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee for 2 years. Therefore, if this government has borrowed for 3 years, 2 out of the 3 years, it is my brother Ndindi Nyoro who presided over that borrowing and budgeted for that borrowing and moved the House to approve that borrowing. Therefore, if there are people who have suddenly become intelligent, maybe it is my brother Ndindi Nyoro who now suddenly has become more intelligent than everybody else. And therefore, Ndindi, I told my brother the other day, I was chair of Budget and Appropriations Committee in 2017, 2018, rather 2018, 2019. And I conducted 2 full financial year budgets and 3 supplementaries. But I have never stood in my place to deny that which I did. Because you must, as a leader, be able to stand for what you do and be a man of principle. Therefore, Ndindi Nyoro, unless you are telling us, as member for Kiharu, that the 2 budget or 3 budget cycles that presided over, you presided over either because you are not intelligent then and you have suddenly become intelligent, or you presided over illegalities, knowing there were illegalities. Then you should just come clean and tell us you presided over illegalities, or someone held a gun over your head to preside over illegalities. Is that simple?
I think we're not going to allow this to be. Yeah, but you've been the chair of the budget committee. No. Hang on a minute. Just for the interest of the chair, you've been the chair of the budget committee, and this runaway borrowing that you're talking about did not start after you left the budget committee. You were there overseeing a lot of it. And the impression you're giving right now is that you've been the good guy out there, and everybody else has been doing. I wouldn't say it illegalities because it's a committee. It's a nation, but a runaway or an amok manner in which the financial public sector finances have been handled over this period of time. I'll give you just a minute, and then let's continue with it.
It's very good we are engaging, Honorable Speaker, on this matter. When I served Kenya as the chairman of budget, there was no single illegal borrowing. The illegal borrowing called securitization started in the year 2025, and that is on record. Secondly, out of the point of orders, I have heard the former chair, Honorable Kimani, Ichungwah. It actually confirms the same thing, that even the majority leader in the House is not aware that there is a House committee here that deals with debt. And the more the reason, Honorable Speaker, that they should be more creative, and even the finance committee, because there is a reason why even now the budget.
Hang on a minute. This is interesting. Honorable, what's the point of order, the majority leader?
You know, Honorable Speaker, as I said, my brother pretends to play around with words to look intelligent. But I don't want to say he's not intelligent. But, Honorable Speaker, you had just guided him. That besides whether or not he was a former chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, what is borrowed is what is not being financed from our revenues. And it is being borrowed to finance our expenditure estimates. The Budget and Appropriations Committee is the one that takes us through the budget estimates that we just approved here last week on Thursday in committee. And my brother Ndindi Nyoro was here, and he knows it. Therefore, I know Ndindi Nyoro, my brother. I know you want to look for an opportunity to do clips, TikTok clips, and Instagram. to people out there who do not know what we know in this house. And that is why, Honorable Speaker, as you had guided my brother, he should not use the floor of this house to mislead the public out there because he knows the truth. He has just said another untruth, that there was no securitization before when he was chair of budget and appropriations committee. He knows that is not true. But he knows Kenyans out there do not have the facts in their hands. And therefore, you must be challenged on your untruths, because saying lies is unparliamentary. But what is untrue is untrue. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, let us be honest with Kenyans. Let us be faithful to the truth. Let us be loyal also to the professions. Honorable Ndindi Nyoro purports to be an economist or a student of economics. I am a student of economics. And as much as we work from assumptions in economists, I'm also an accountant where we work with facts and figures. That is why I stand on facts and figures. And the truth that never changes, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, while you're on your feet, what was the total debt in the year 2022?
The total debt in the year 2022 was 8.7 trillion Kenya shillings.
And the total debt, 2023?
I know the current. You may give me time to check. But I can tell you the scope.
Order. Can you, this is also a house of facts. Give us what was order. What was the total debt in the year 2022? Just a moment. 2023, 2024, 2025, and then you tell us when it started running crazy.
Honorable Speaker, I want to repeat and speak loudly. There was no single issue of illegal debt of the book loan prior to last year mid. It's called securitization. There was no single one when I served Kenya as the chairman of budget. Secondly, my brother Kimani Ichungwah, it is also good for you to be truthful to yourself. The reason why we debate...
Order. The chair is the one which is seeking clarification for the benefits of the wider house and the nation out there. I want somebody to tell me what was the total debt 2023, 22, 23, 24, 25? And then you show me where things started going nuts. Yes, go ahead, Honorable. You might be able to shed lights on that.
Honorable Speaker, as I said, my brother from Kiharu thinks, you can fool some people sometimes, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. And I had to come back from my office because I listened to a lot of untruths. You're asking a specific question.
Yes.
My brother is avoiding answering the specific question because he knows for the 2 years he was the chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, we were still borrowing. Number two, Honorable Speaker, in trying to fool people, he's now talking about securitization. I would challenge the Honorable Ndindi Nyoro to show us in this Public Debt Committee's report where the issue of securitization is in their report. Because the issues, when I listened to the mover, the Honorable Adan Move, and the seconder, the member for Baringo North, they were speaking about the fiscal deficit that is as a consequence of what we have already budgeted for as a house, including projects in Kikuyu constituency, in Kiharu constituency, and in all our constituencies in the country, Honorable Speaker, including the teachers that we are paying for the 100,000 teachers we have recruited. And not to mention the school capitation that the member for Kiharu was trying to incite the public out there again on. That school capitation money has been provided for here. And he knows the revenue estimates as they are. And he has been there, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, let him answer you, Honorable Speaker, the specific question.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, order. Can you take a seat? Order. The total public debt as of June